Okay, let's dive into 1 Samuel chapter 7 today.
Sounds good. This chapter picks up after quite a long time, actually.
Yeah, 20 years. The Ark of the Lord has been sort of sidelined at Kiriath Jearim.
Right, under the care of Eleazar and Israel. They're described as mourning, seeking the Lord.
But there's this constant threat looming, isn't there? The Philistines.
Absolutely. So you have this internal seeking, but also this external pressure. It really sets the stage for a turning point.
And Samuel steps right into that. He gives them a condition, doesn't he, for change?
He does. It's very direct. He says, look, if you're really serious about returning to the Lord with your whole heart,
Then what?
then you've got to get rid of the foreign gods. He's specific.
The Baals and Ashtoreths. Yeah, he names them. What were those about?
Well, they were the typical Canaanite gods people turned to for, everyday stuff. Agriculture, fertility, prosperity, practical concerns.
So putting them away wasn't just symbolic.
Not at all. It was a tangible act. Removing the competition, you could say. Samuel's message is clear. Serve the Lord only. That's the path to deliverance from the Philistines.
It's about where you place your ultimate trust, then.
Exactly. It links their inner heart condition to their outward actions, and then connects that to the promise of rescue.
And the people actually do it. They put away these idols.
And they follow through, which leads Samuel to call this big assembly at Mizpah.
Mizpah. What happens there? It sounds like more than just a meeting.
Oh, it is. It's a national moment of, well, repentance. They draw water and pour it out before the Lord, maybe a sign pouring out their hearts, or maybe a vow. We're not totally sure on the symbolism, but it's significant.
And they fast, too.
Yes, fasting and a direct confession. We have sinned against the Lord. Samuel's clearly leading them in this.
But this big public display of returning to God, it attracts the wrong kind of attention.
Right. The Philistines hear about the gathering at Mizpah, and they don't see repentance.
They see weakness and opportunity.
Seems like it. They decide it's time to attack.
And the Israelites' reaction, after all this repentance.
Fear. Understandable, really. Turning back to God doesn't magically remove the immediate danger. They're terrified.
So they turn to Samuel again. What do they ask him?
It's urgent. Basically, don't stop praying for us. Keep crying out to God to rescue us from the Philistines. They know they need help beyond themselves.
And Samuel responds, he doesn't just pray, though.
No, he performs a sacrifice.
Yeah.
He takes a suckling lamb, a young one, and offers it as a whole burnt offering.
Whole, meaning completely consumed.
Yeah, often symbolizing total dedication or complete dependence on God. And he's crying out to the Lord while he does this.
And the timing here is crucial, isn't it?
Absolutely critical. He's doing this while the Philistines are advancing for battle. Not before, not after, but right in the thick of the crisis.
Wow, so what happens?
It's dramatic. As Samuel is offering the sacrifice, the Lord intervenes. The text says he thundered with a loud noise against the Philistines.
Thunder, like actual thunder.
It seems so. A loud, terrifying sound that throws the Philistine army into complete panic. They're routed, just utterly confused and defeated before Israel even properly fights back in the traditional sense.
But the Israelites do get involved then.
Oh, yes. They see the chaos, God's intervention, and they pursue the Philistines, striking them down all the way to a place called Beth-kar. God acts, and it empowers their action.
So a major victory, clearly thanks to divine help.
Definitely. And Samuel wants to make sure they don't forget it. He sets up a stone.
The Ebenezer stone.
That's the one, between Mizpah and Shen. And he gives it a name and explains it. Ebenezer, meaning, thus far the Lord has helped us.
Thus far. That feels important. It's not the Lord solved everything forever, but acknowledging the help received up to that moment.
Precisely. It's a marker of past faithfulness, maybe a foundation for future trust, a tangible reminder.
And did this victory stick? What were the results?
Pretty significant, according to the text. The Philistines were subdued. They stopped raiding Israelite territory, at least for the rest of Samuel's lifetime.
Wow, that's huge. Lasting peace on that front.
And more. Towns the Philistines had captured from Ekron to Gath were restored to Israel. There was even peace with the Amorites. It really ushered in a period of stability.
And Samuel's role continues after this.
Yes, he keeps judging Israel, going on a circuit. Bethel, Gilgal, Mizpah.
Yeah.
But his home base is Ramah. He even builds an altar there, still leading, still focused on the Lord.
So the whole chapter is this journey, isn't it? From being lost and turning to other things.
Through genuine repentance, facing a crisis, trusting God despite fear.
Witnessing a powerful rescue, and then setting up that reminder, that Ebenezer.
Yeah, it brings stability and peace, grounded in that act of remembering God's help.
That Ebenezer concept, thus far the Lord has helped us, really makes you think. It's about acknowledging the past help as fuel for the future.
It does, and maybe leads to a question for you listening. What might be the foreign gods in your own life? The things you rely on, maybe distracting you from a deeper trust. And perhaps more importantly, how could remembering your own Ebenezer moments, those times you were helped strengthen you when you face the challenges that are inevitably still ahead? Something to think about.